Welcome students. Welcome to the lecture number 8 of chapter computer networks. Okay. So the topic for today is network topologies. So what is basically a topology? A topology refers to the arrangement of physical connection among nodes in a network. Okay. So topology means the way of arranging computers in a network is known as topology. Okay, the way, or we can say the pattern of arranging the computers in a network, that pattern of arrangement is called as topology. Okay, so we have various types of topologies, but as per in our syllabus we have to discuss only 3 topologies. Okay, and these are, the first one is the bus topology, second one is the star topology, and the third one is tree topology. Okay, so as per our syllabus we have to discuss these 3 types of topologies only, right? So let's begin with the first one, that is the bus topology. Okay, so what happens in case of a bus topology? Let me show you a picture of the bus topology network. Okay, now this is the picture of the bus topology network. In this picture you can see that, right, there is a single cable. This is a single cable, and at both the end point of the single cable the device named as terminator is attached. Okay, so in the case of the bus topology we simply take a single cable, right, and set the single cable in the entire room or in the entire office. Okay, and both the end points of the cable have a device attached at the end point, and the name of that device is terminator. Okay, what is the basic purpose of the terminator? I will explain you later on in this slide also. So now just see over here. So this is a single cable. Okay, and you can see that every computer, like this computer, this computer, every computer, or as well as this printer also. Okay, this is, suppose this is a server computer. So all these systems are connected to this single cable. Okay. So just remember one thing, in this topology a single cable is set in the area where you want to set the network, and each computer is connected with that single cable. Okay, suppose what happens, suppose this node want to send a file for printout. Okay, so when this node will send any data on this line, the data get transmitted to both the directions, this direction also as well as in this direction also. Okay, because in this case there is no medium for them to recognize that where is the device or node present in which this system wants to send the data. So that's why whenever a node sends data to this central cable, the data get transmitted to both the directions. Okay, first the data reaches to this point. Okay, at this point this node checks whether this data belongs to it, so it rejects the data because the data does not belong to it. Then this data moves forward. Okay, and when this printer checks the data that whether this data belongs to it, yes, because this the person sitting in at this node wants to take the printout of a file, so that's why he sent the print command of that file. So print command of that file will come to this single cable, and this command moves to both the direction. But when it reaches to this system, it simply ignore it. Then it reaches to this system, it accepts it because this is the printer and the request is for the printer only. So this accepts the request and take the printout. But what happens to the other side where the same command goes on? So obviously when the same command goes to this side, it comes to this system. Okay, so this system basically rejects this data because that data does not belongs to it. Okay, then the signal again move forward, and you know at the end point there is a terminator fitted at the end of the cable. So what is the purpose of this terminator? This terminator will absorb the signal which comes at the end. Okay, if suppose if it does not absorb the signal, then what will happen? Then the signal after hitting to the end point, it bounces back and it again moves to the printer. So it means if this terminator is not present at the end, then if a person sends the print command for the printout, then the two copies of the printout is taken by this printer. Why? Because one copy which moves to this direction to the printer, and the other copy the signal moves to the other direction, and at the end if there is no terminator, then the signal will revert back and again comes to this printer. Okay, so that is the purpose of these terminators which is fitted at the end of the this cable. Okay. So what are the points that we have to remember about this? In bus topology, all the nodes, means all the systems, whether it is a printer, server, anyone, are connected to a main cable called the backbone. So this central cable, okay, through which all the systems are connected, is also called as the main cable or the backbone cable. Okay, right. If any node has to send some information, okay, if suppose this system has to send some information to any other node, it sends the signal to the backbone. The signal travels through the entire length of the backbone and it is received by the node for which it is intended. So the signal given by this system to the backbone cable, and then the signal travels through the entire cable and reaches to its destination, right? The next point is a small device called terminator. As I told you that at the end of both end side of this cable there is a terminator. Okay, a small device called terminator is attached at each end of the backbone. Why? Because when the signal reaches the end of the backbone, it is absorbed by the terminator and the backbone gets free to carry another signal. Okay, so obviously once the signal is absorbed by the terminator, then the line is basically becomes free, so that if another system want to send any data, then he can send the data. So these are some points related to the bus topology working. Okay, now after that we discuss some characteristic of the bus topology. Okay, so let us discuss some characteristic of the bus topology. The first is some advantage that it is very easy to install. Obviously what the network administrator has to do, he has to just install a single cable throughout the room or a office. Okay, and whenever he wants to set the system, he just connect that system at that point. So it is very easy to install. It requires less cable length and hence it is cost effective. Alright, so a single cable is laid down throughout the room or a company or office, and all the systems are connected to that single cable only. So that's why it requires less cable length. But what are the disadvantage of this? Failure of a node does not affect the network. So suppose if a single system fails, then it does not affect the entire network. The entire network works in a smooth manner. But if the backbone cable, okay, because you see that all the systems are connected to the backbone cable. So if there is a fault in the backbone cable, then the entire network breaks down. Okay, because suppose if the backbone cable is cut from anywhere, then the signal will not pass through that from that point. So it means if a backbone cable is faulty, then the entire network breaks down, right? And fault diagnosis is very difficult in this type of cable. Okay, so these are some advantages and some disadvantages related to the bus topology. Okay, so the next type one more point is there. At a time only one node can transmit data. Obviously, suppose if a node want to send a data, so first it checks whether the line is free or not. If the line is free, only then he can send the data. But suppose if both the systems, suppose there are two systems, they send the data together, then what will happen? Maybe there is a chance that at any point of time both the message will collide with each other. Okay, and the data from one point will not reach to the other point. Just I will explain you about this point. Suppose this is my central cable and a system, this is one system, it is connected to this point. There is another system that is connected to this point. There is one more system that is connected to this point. And suppose there is one more system that is connected to this point. And suppose this is one more system. Okay, so suppose this is a network, right? And suppose this system, let me give name to this system as A. This system wants to send a data to the system B. Okay, and suppose this is a system C, and he wants to send the data to this system D. So in this case, you can see that this point of area is basically a problematic area, because A sends the message to the B. Okay, so obviously the message from A moves from this to this point and then finally reaches to the B station. And if the C system wants to send data to D system, then you can see that the data moves from this point and then this and then moves to the D system. In this circled area, you can see that both the signal, there is maybe a chance that both the signals may collide with each other, and due to which the data will not reach to any end, because the system, the data signal comes from C to D and it uses this portion also, and when this data travel from A to C, it also uses this portion also. So in this area there may be a chance that both the signals will collide with each other, and due to the collision both the signals will finishes. Okay, so at that point no one will get the data. So you can see that at a time only one node can transmit data. Okay, so these are some characteristics of the bus topology. Now let's move to the next one, that is a star topology. So let me first show you the diagram of the star topology. Now you can see that this is the diagram of the star topology. Okay, in this diagram you can see that there is a central device. Okay, this is a device named as hub or switch, or we can say that this device is used to connecting multiple computers. Okay, we will discuss about this device later on also, right? So this is a central connecting device, and all the nodes of this network, this server, printer, everyone is connected to each other with the help of this central device that is called hub or switch. So in this way it creates a topology that is a star topology. So suppose if A system, this is a system, and he wants to send some data to the B system. So obviously his data reaches from A to this hub or switch, and then the data will move to the system B. So each and every facility is shared through this, or taken through this hub or switch device, which is a connecting device. So in star topology, each node is directly connected to a hub or a switch. So either it could be a hub or it could be a switch. Okay, so if a hub is installed in between in the central, so all the nodes are connected through the hub, or if a switch device is set, then all the systems are connected with the help of switch. If any node has to send some information to any other node, okay, if a particular node wants to send some information to the other node, then it sends the signal to the hub or a switch. Okay, so obviously as I told you that A wants to send some data to B, then he sends the data to the hub or switch. Okay, so what happens if there is a hub, or what happens if there is a switch? So just listen to it, this thing, this signal is then broadcasted in case of hub. It means if the central device is hub, then what will happen? Suppose A sends the data to this central device, and suppose at the center we have hub device. Hub will send the data to all the systems present in the network. Okay, hub will send the data to all the systems present in the network. Hub will not check that whether this message which is given by the A node belongs to B or not. It don't check the message. It simply transmit the message to all the systems present in the network. Okay. Or obviously when that message comes to this node, it rejects that system message because it checks whether the message belongs to him or not. And similarly, when the message reaches to this node, it checks whether the message belongs to him. Then if it is not, then it's also reject. So the message is rejected by all the other systems, and that will be accepted only by the system for which the message is made. So that's why that message is accepted by only B. But the hub, what will it do? Hub will send the data to all the devices. Okay, all the system will be given data by the hub, but the data is rejected by all the systems, but it is accepted by only that system for which the message is basically sent. Okay. Now the next point is that in case of a switch, suppose in spite of this hub device, if we put a device named a switch as a central connecting device, then what will it do? The signal is sent only to the intended node. Okay. Actually, switch is more advanced than hub because hub is just a connecting device, whereas a switch is more advanced device than hub because switch has an inbuilt software in it, so which keeps the information of all the systems connected to the network. So whenever a message is given by A to the switch, switch first check that this message belongs to which system. So it checks that this message belongs to the system A, and what is the destination of this message? The destination of this message is system B. So when switch checks this information, then the switch will send data only to the B in spite of sending the data to all the systems. So that's why switch is more advanced or more intelligent than hub. Okay, because hub transmits the data to all the systems present in the network, whereas a switch will transmit the data only to the system for which the message is sent. Okay, so these are the points regarding the working of the star topology. Now let's come to the characteristic of the star topology. First, some advantage we discuss. It is more efficient topology as compared to the bus topology. Okay, so in this way a central connecting device is required, and we can connect any number of devices which can be supported by the central device. Okay, suppose if we have a switch which can connect up to 16 devices at a time, so we can make the network of 16 computers. If we purchase a higher configuration switch, suppose a switch which has a capability to connect 32 computers at a time. Okay, so we can connect 32 computers. So it is more efficient topology as compared to the bus topology. And nowadays in most of the places only star topology is used because it is one of the most efficient technology, right? And it is also easy to install, and it is easy to diagnose the fault in star topology. How is it easy to find the fault in star topology? Suppose if there is a problem in a system, okay, or if the wire from that system to the switch is corrupt, okay, or is faulty, then in that case we can check that okay, any system will not receiving any data from this system, and if we send any data to this system, then that system will not accepting the data. So it means there may be a fault in either in the wire from switch to that system, or there is a problem in the system also. So it is easy to find that which system is mainly faulty, and it is easy to expand depending on the specification of the central hub or switch. As I told you that it is given that according to the specification of the central hub or switch. As I told you, if I have a switch of 16 ports or 16 points, then I can connect 16 systems at a time with the help of that switch. But suppose if I have a switch of 32 points, then I can connect 32 computers with that switch at a time. So obviously we can take any number of connect any number of computers, but that depends on the configuration of the switch. And the disadvantage is that failure of hub or a switch. As you know that hub and switch are at the center. Okay, so suppose if there is a problem in the switch device also, okay, if there is a problem in the switch device, then obviously, because you can see that all the systems are connected with the switch now. So if there is a problem in the device switch, then no communication can occur and the entire network is failed. It requires more cable length as compared to the bus topology. How it requires the more cable length? Let me explain you that how it requires the more cable length. Suppose this is my switch. Okay, suppose this is my switch device and this computer is connected to the switch. This computer is connected to the switch. This computer is connected to the switch, and suppose this one is also connected to the switch. So you can see that the first problem is that if there is a problem in the switch, then obviously all the systems are connected to the switch. So if there is any problem with this switch, then the entire network will not communicate with each other. Okay, because this switch is at the center of all the devices. So if the switch is faulty, then the entire network is down. And suppose if there is a system present at this point, so if I want to connect this system to the switch, then I have to take a single cable from this point to this point. Okay, so if suppose we are talking about a huge company, right, where there are multiple systems, so obviously there may be a chance that we have to set a more cable length for connecting any particular system to this switch. Okay, so these are some points related to the star topology, and then the last one is basically the tree topology. Let me show you the diagram of the tree topology. Actually, in case of tree topology, we have the combination of both star and bus. You can see that in this there is a network. Okay, suppose we called as L1 network. There is one more lab is there. We call this lab as L2 lab, and suppose there is one more lab is there. We call it as L3 lab, and this one we call as L4 lab. So suppose let me take an example of our school. Suppose this is our senior computer lab, and this is our this one is our senior computer lab. Okay, and this one is our junior computer lab, right? And suppose this is our office system. Okay, this is a network of our office, and suppose let us take another lab is also there. So if I want to connect all these different networks to each other, then there is a pattern in which I lay down a single cable and connect all these networks to this single cable. So you can see that in this case we have various star topologies, and bus topology is also there. So basically when there is a combination of both star and bus, then we call it as a tree topology. Tree topology is a combination of bus and star topology, right? It is used to combine multiple star topology network. So if there is a huge organization and various different departments, so each department has its own star network. Okay, so suppose finance department has its own network, and purchase department has its own network. Now the company wants to connect all the departments with each other. So what the step company will take? The company will basically lay down a bus topology, and connects all the star topology networks to that bus topology. So this type of network is basically set in those organizations where there is a huge network, okay, with a huge big companies. So this kind of pattern is followed. All the stars are connected together like a bus. This bus star hybrid approach support future expandability of the network. Okay, suppose if in future, suppose I set up another lab, suppose L5 lab is there. So what I have to do, I have to set the L5 lab and connect to this system. Suppose I set up one more lab, that is L6 lab. Then after setting this L6 lab, I have to connect this to this network. So this is the so expandability feature is much more positive in this case. Okay. So what are some characteristics of the bus topology? Is that it offers ease way of network expansion. Obviously you can see that we can expand the network also, because what we have to do, we have to set up a star network at one point, and let's just connect that star network to the backbone cable of the bus topology. That's it. So even if one network fail, suppose if the network of one lab is not working, so it doesn't mean that all the different labs cannot communicate with each other. Yes, they can communicate with each other. Okay, so even if one network fails, the other networks remain connected and working. So there is no problem with the other networks. So if one star topology fails, then the other networks will work in the normal manner. Okay, and what is basically the disadvantage? The disadvantage is same if there is a backbone failure. Okay, so if there is a backbone, means the bus topology cable which we are using, if suppose that cable is faulty, then it basically creates problem for the entire network. Okay, so this is basically some advantage and disadvantage of the bus tree topology. And suppose if the question is asked about the characteristic of tree topology, then you can write all these 3 points. Okay, so these are the 3 types of topologies that we have to cover. So that's all for today's lecture. Thank you very much and have a nice day.